Good day to all of you. We are back. We are having a quick review of the Super 8 stage, and this is very important because it gives us a very good idea of what to expect from the four teams that are heading into the semifinals, them being South Africa, New Zealand, England, and India. Is there any doubt as to who has been the most impressive team? No, that's been South Africa. But there is a debate concerning the other three teams, and that is something we'll need to discuss, and that is something that we'll need to pry open, so to speak. There's a debate. One could even argue that New Zealand haven't been as impressive as the others, considering they've lost two games, I think. Yeah, two games, and they've had a rain out. So they're not in the best phase of things, and they've not looked the best. England have surprised me, genuinely surprised me with some of their tactics and some of their results. South Africa haven't. India, the one loss apart, have been fairly business as usual. So that is something I took forward from this. But on a bigger note, so what did you think of? Let's actually start with a bit of a hilarious situation. I was thinking it's bad, then it's worse, and then Pakistan say, hold my beer, there is something that we can still do that is even worse than this. Yes. This. They find 50 lakh rupees, which is not a small amount, by the way, in Pakistani notes or Indian notes, each, regardless of performance, for their complete ineptitude.
It's the same hyper emotional mentality that stops them from performing well. What is this?
Yes.
This is utter rubbish reactionary behavior, right?
Yeah.
You can make this fine if you feel the players didn't try their best. They did try their best. You just have to accept you have problems here. In the way of in the way Pakistani cricket is being played and the way it is, this is you have a talent dearth.
Yeah.
To do this is to really just take away the confidence of players. I mean, this is absurd. You just blame players for all of this, okay? Players may be the final element to this, but you don't have a great system in place. So why don't you start finding yourselves as well? What have you managed to do in all of this? And while you're at it, you can go blame the entire downfall of Pakistan cricket to the rise of terrorism that has led to teams not touring Pakistan since the early 2000s, right?
Yes.
So why don't you go back and find the fucking Pakistan army? Because the destruction of Pakistani domestic cricket is directly linked to the reluctance of teams to tour Pakistan. That's where it comes from, and that's why you've never had the pressure to make better pitches, more competitive pitches. Never had the pressure of creating new tactics within it. Look, for example, now that teams started to tour Pakistan again, for the longest time they went with those flatties, right? Australia beat them on them, England beat them on them, but then they realized they have to do something more. So they came up with those more turning kind of tracks and they started to get results with it. This is the stuff that happens when you play regularly at home. So why don't you go back and blame the Pakistan army all the way for all the terrorism that they have created? Yeah.
At this point, they would have to bring up the army's checkbook, all the, not checkbook, their annotations and whatever records they've kept since 1951, because Liaquat Ali Khan himself was assassinated by the army.
That's what I'm saying. So look, obviously what I'm saying is an absurdity in the context of what Pakistan can or cannot do, right? But I'm only pointing out that absurdity because to me, this is an absurdity.
Yep.
They tried. You cannot tell me they didn't try. They tried even against Sri Lanka. They tried.
Agreed.
Right? But it wasn't enough. And there are frailties in this team. Either somebody comes around and tells me that Pakistan board was determined. There was deliberate underperformance towards the last 5 overs of the Pakistan innings against Sri Lanka, where honestly they fell about 30 runs shorter than they should have. And with 30 more runs, they would have been defending about 170 odd. Right? And that's a harder total to get to. And at 170, they might have had the chance of defending. At 147, it was tough because that was a very good pitch.
Yeah.
Right. And the Sri Lankans measured it. I mean, that's a wide at the end of the game, bro. I promise you that's a wide. That's 100%
no,
a wide.
We'll talk about the wide. That was a wide. I don't disagree with you, but there's a different
reason. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm saying, like, so if you're saying that they deliberately underperformed at the end of that match, fine. If you say they deliberately underperformed against England, I don't think they did. I think they came up against one of the best innings of the tournament. What are they supposed to do about that? Probably the best innings of the tournament, honestly. right? Maybe Ishan Kishan is the only one that's a better innings.
Ishan
Uh,
Kishan, and I would argue
no,
maybe,
no, no.
yeah,
Ishan's
actually it
technical.
doesn't have any
Ishan
competition.
played
No,
the
no,
toughest
it,
conditions the best, I think.
yeah, yeah, agreed, agreed, agreed,
Right.
agreed.
So whatever. So I mean, Brook played a insane innings. It was an insane
Yeah,
innings, man. I mean, you make
yeah,
100 out of a total of 165. That's something, man.
something else altogether. By the way, I actually, out of all the Pakistani writers on ESPN Cricket Info, and there are a bunch of truly hypocritical idiots out there. This guy keeps it real. I'll give my shout
No,
out to a
Usman
small
Samir
friend.
is an excellent writer. He's an excellent
Yeah,
writer.
no, one of the few who actually keeps it real. The others have a sense of delusion that goes
See,
beyond it.
I don't look at Pakistani writers in that way, and I don't look at Indian writers in that way because you got to understand for a lot of us, the gap between the two and the way the two think is very, very big.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so maybe someone from my perspective seems very tilted, skewed towards a pro Pakistani approach, but perhaps they are finding themselves to be more centered, even rather than being
yeah, yeah.
right. So that you have to just simply accept because the mentality gap between the two is just too great.
Agreed. Now let's actually look at one paragraph because this article is just beautiful. It's chef's kiss. If you haven't read this, please do read this. And you have to read all of the articles he has given links to. First of all, doping, corruption, indiscipline, insubordination, all of this is nothing new. These are well deserving of punishments. We are going to move past them. Let's talk about Shoaib Akhtar. First, we have this. You'll want to read about it. Now, what do you want to read about it? This. I'll just show you what this is. I don't know how, you even. This was the statement. I'm pretty sure we'll get demonetized if we were monetized on YouTube. This was the statement. Genital warts in all its glory. Genital warts, people. I don't know how to put it, but that's essentially what he was saying. Genital warts.
Okay, why
No,
would we be
but the
demonetized for genital warts? So he had genital warts. I mean, unless they're saying he was lying.
no, he wasn't lying. But the point is, everyone said that they shouldn't have made it public. They should have just said he is injured, whatever. It was a
Yeah, yeah,
sensitive issue.
yeah. It's sometimes you get the feeling the Pakistan board is hostile to its own players.
Sometimes.
And that used to be a bad feeling sometimes in the early 90s with even the Indian board, certainly late 80s, early 90s, but that ended. That ended.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
simpatico relationship between Indian players and the board is quite relevant and quite apparent. But perhaps with us it goes the opposite direction. There is just a little too much control for the BCCI on everything.
yeah. No, but I am just shocked. This was back in 2009, by the way, where the internet wasn't as ubiquitous as it was today, as it is
Yeah,
today. But this is the kind of stuff that was not just they had put an online article about it. There was, yes, it still exists, by the way. Look, this is the online article. Literally, this is the article, 2009. Look, the date is there. This is
that's
the
all right.
kind of,
Got your point.
yeah, this is point number one. This was the first one. uh there are more which he points to because this article is just too good to, it's and then there was this. They lost the T20 World Cup because of this incident. Shoaib decided that he would take a very hands-on approach to combat in the dressing room and decided to well, assault Mohammad Asif with a cricket bat. And that's all that we know of. He might have very well gone to town on him, considering Asif was not himself in the tournament either. I mean, to be fair to the board, when the players act like this,
This is fundamentally
he,
different from what we're talking about right now, Simha. So I don't know why these examples are relevant, to be honest with you.
I know,
This
but
is
he
yeah,
just
I get
puts
it.
it
This
here.
is this is what a board exists for. That you have to discipline players when they do stuff like this. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah,
Navjot Sidhu walked out of an India tour once. That stuff
yeah.
happens. That's
He did,
okay.
he did, he did, he
But
did, he did.
but what they're doing now is just placating an angry public because social media tends to extrapolate the noise around everything. It's just stupid. It's just silly emotionalism. I don't even want to waste time on this, man. I mean, it's a pointless exercise.
Agreed. So basically, he said, look, that the worst part even is, think about this. Sahibzada Farhan hit 383 runs. We'll talk about that 100 later, but he hit 383 runs in 6 innings, as 7 innings, and he's getting 50 lakhs as a fine. This is the kind of nonsense that basically makes me go, yeah, Usman Tariq is not going to be relevant for them for any more
I'm
month.
dead sure the Pakistan board wants to save money. Dead sure.
Uh,
50 lakhs
to
per
be fair,
player will probably come to about a few crores. Proper few crores. They probably need
yeah,
that money. They decided to save it.
the first match, New Zealand versus Pakistan, was a rain out. Honestly, I think Pakistan would have probably won this match against New Zealand because
Really?
for
You
some
think
reason,
so? I quite like New Zealand, man. I think New Zealand tactically very
no,
sharp.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. It's not because Pakistan are a better team than New Zealand. They're not. But I looked through every single World Cup of the last few years, since 2011, I think. Whenever New Zealand meet Pakistan, New Zealand lose. I don't know
Yeah,
why. I
Pakistan.
don't know how.
Pakistan has always been New Zealand's bogey team. They don't
Yeah.
even they don't even become competitive against Pakistan. Pakistan just beats them.
Yeah, 2019 World Cup they lost. 2021 they lost. Yes, 2021 they lost in the T20 World Cup. 2022 they lost in the semi-final. 2024 they didn't even meet them, so that's irrelevant. But 2023 they lost. New Zealand came to the semis and still lost against Pakistan in the group stage. How was it? So again, according to me, New Zealand will count this game as a point gained rather than a point lost because they have forgotten how to win against Pakistan in World Cups, at least. Outside of World Cups, different story altogether. But in World Cups, for some reason, these guys keep on just going and losing. Of course, New Zealand have another father, brother, and godfather, that is Australia, but we'll leave those guys aside for now. Australia are irrelevant in this. Anyway, we have analyzed them to death. There's nothing more to say about them, except a bit of jokes for now. This match was crucial. This was a remarkable game. I had no clue that Sri Lankans were capable
So
of
this is the
such
first surprise.
self-composure.
To me, this was a
Yeah,
huge surprise. Huge.
yeah,
And it
yeah.
wasn't just a
Especially,
surprise in as much as England won. It's
yeah,
that total Lankan capitulation. And boss, that is when I suddenly realized that we'd been looking at them as a very good team, but
yeah,
perhaps we've been misled because the quality of the group they were in was just rubbish. Australia
yeah,
weren't turning up, right? Zimbabwe, okay, they were reasonable, but they were not going to win any more games. And
yeah,
Oman, and so that we were sort of misled by the quality of what was up against them. Because
yeah,
when they've
yeah.
come up against proper teams, they're just nowhere, bro. They're nowhere. And this wasn't a bad pitch. It's not a 95 pitch.
No, it's not.
They could have scored this 146 was a super job by their bowlers, by the way. Super job.
Exactly. Also, you have to remember this was Palakele. This was the highest scoring Sri Lankan pitch. This was not the Colombo
Absolutely.
Turner.
Absolutely. And the problem with the Lankans is somehow it's at this stage of the tournament, they were really stuck on Patum Nisanka. Either Nisanka fired or they just weren't getting through because Mendes didn't have a great tournament.
No, he did not.
Valalage didn't have a great tournament. Kamindu didn't have a great tournament.
Nope.
And they not played the others who they played in the last game. They played them till the end. Shanaka, I mean, he was okay. He had a bit of a score in this game, and Shanaka obviously was mad in the last game, but doesn't
Yeah.
Shanaka disappointing tournament for himself?
Yeah. What was interesting was this was not a tough score. 147 is the kind of score in T20 where you look at it and go,
Dude,
you
this
can just
match is like it's the revival of England. Like at this stage, England look like cannon fodder.
especially if you consider, look at this batting order. Josh Butler hasn't done anything in this tournament. He's done less than Abhishek Sharma. That's how bad he's been. Bethel has been hot and cold. Banton has been hot and cold. Brook has been hot and cold. He blew
No,
hot at the right
Brook
time.
has scored enough runs. Salt has disappeared again.
Yeah, Sal disappeared again. This was his only innings in the tournament, by the way. That's the only good innings that he played, and he played it on a decently tricky pitch, I would say. So this was the first one.
So this is the stage
Then,
at which Will Jacks is like taking them through
yeah, yeah.
everything.
Yeah, essentially is doing the Shivam Dubey role. Essentially,
Yeah.
yeah, I got it. Then you have this mother of all defeats. I expected that we would lose at some point because 12 wins in T20 World Cups consecutively was a ridiculous record in itself. But yeah, the
Uh,
manner of this was a nightmare, complete
it's
nightmare.
just too easy. It's too easy. It's too easy to call also after a point. There were many turning points, man. At the end of the 10th over, you were 78 for 3, okay? They were.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
suddenly that last ball gets called a no ball, and just the same length ball at will Miller puts out of the park and becomes 84 for 3. Bro,
yeah,
you may think it's 6 runs, but the difference between being 7.8 and over at the end of 10 and 8.4 at the end of 10 is big. It's psychologically very big.
yeah.
You're suddenly,
Psychologically,
you're suddenly very, very near to hitting nines and over, easily hitting nines and over,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I mean, Miller was great, Brevis was great, Stubbs
yeah,
clutch, like we've been talking about, fantastic.
yeah,
Uh, and from there, this was always going to be a tough total, no question. 187 was always going to be a tough total for us.
yeah,
And
yeah,
this was
yeah,
like, this is what I talked about, right? Like the bowling is a strong suit. The bowling doesn't do well bowling
yeah,
first, and the batting doesn't sort of cover up for it enough because the opposing bowling is also good, right?
yeah,
You will directly contrast this to the West Indies game, and
yeah,
big
yeah.
difference there is the quality of South African bowling versus the quality of West Indian bowling.
Let me just straight up tell the best bowler is the bowler here who didn't take any wickets. This is the guy.
Yeah. You unplayable, man, unplayable.
No, I mean, look, this is where I started
Listen,
appreciating Virat even
they
more.
have quite clearly understood the Ahmedabad pitch better than anyone.
Well, you gave them that advantage by scheduling essentially 5 games out of 7 there for them, right? At the start of the
Yeah,
tournament.
but
It
it's not
wasn't a
as if
great.
they struggled with the Ahmedabad pitch at any point. They always got it. They
Yeah,
understood it.
they always got it again. Yeah, true. But there's another point to be made, and that's very interesting here. First, you look at Ingidi, right? Ingidi bowls a slower dipper. It's not something that's new. It's a ball that he himself admits and that everyone has understood has come from Dwayne Bravo. Dwayne Bravo used to use that for CSK and West Indies quite a bit. Now, here's the kicker. Some players mastered how to hit that as well. Kohli was a very notable example of how to treat off pace deliveries. Like Kohli against pace is superhuman, at least in white ball. Like slower balls don't affect him. They really don't. He still finds the
Hmm.
gaps. Like dippers don't affect him. But the rest of this new Indian team, it just showed how bad they were against slower balls. Like many of them weren't even picking it out of the hand. That was how like Ingidi has a very late release. I get that it's very difficult to do so, but it is amazing that hardly anyone was able to pick his slower ball at all. It was ridiculous as to how difficult this guy was to uh, you know pick, and that is one of the reasons why he goes at this economy rate, which is essentially the same as Bumrah. The difference is Bumrah at least got rewarded with 3 wickets in this match, but Ingidi basically won the match with this ridiculous performance. Like every ball was dipping, and yet they weren't able to pick it at all. They didn't even try to bowl faster balls. That's the crazy part.
No, it's very tough to hit those, and you
Yeah,
end up with pressure up top because Ishan plays a bad shot, Abhishek plays an ordinary shot, Tilak plays a bad shot. You're under pressure right away. Where are you going to score 187 from? And the
yeah,
tactical
agreed.
disasters that Gambhir created in this match are a scale apart, boss. Every time you drop Aksar, it's a disaster. Washi doesn't fit. Washi's not
Yeah,
bowling well enough. His turn is not enough. It's not happening for him. You put in
agreed.
Washi and then you push everybody down the order to
Yeah,
accommodate Washi. So Rinku, who should
absolutely.
actually be dealing with that situation, comes in when the match is finished. It's over. There's nothing left to be done there.
One more thing, Rinku Singh, this was the match where essentially Gambhir realized, look, I'm not saying that Rinku hasn't been going through a lot. He's been going through a lot. His father just died of cancer. I'm not saying that his mental state is where it's supposed to be. That's fine. These things can happen. But in the context of the Indian cricket team, as heartless as I would be sounding right now, because his father probably comes far more in terms of importance than the cricket, and I completely agree with that. This was the match which basically decided that he was going to warm the bench for the rest of the tournament. He hadn't had anything of note before. He didn't do anything of note in the Super 8s also. And that's not really his fault. He had to go home, and I don't blame him for that, but that's the reality. Ironically enough, it gave us Samson, which was necessary. This was the match that essentially
No,
showed
no,
us
no.
that you
But
needed a
so
right
let
hander.
we'll come to Samson later. But first, then there needs to be a proper picking apart of how bad this was. Who are you
Yeah,
picking? For what purpose are you picking them? What are you doing
yeah,
with this squad, with this 11? This is as
yeah,
bad an 11 construction as you can think of.
yeah.
Aksar is he gives you games, he gives you performances every game. So why are you dropping him? What is what
Absolutely.
is this bowling to left-hander shit? Because Washi hasn't even bowled well in the test season this year.
Yep, yep, yep,
Forget
yep.
about the white ball season.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah,
Then let's
and then you decide you're going to give him the vital number 5 position after you've lost wickets. What the
yeah,
hell,
yeah,
man?
yeah, yeah. It could have
If
just
he's
brought in
that
Shivam.
good in your eyes, if he's that good, why don't you build the whole
Yeah,
team around him? Why the hell is he out and in, out and in? You can't bring the
yeah,
guy in and then make him so
yeah.
vital suddenly to everything.
Exactly,
In a short
exactly.
format game, it's a 20 over game, it's not a 50 over game. This was
Yeah,
disaster from beginning to end. Beginning to
yeah,
end, man. And I mean, Arshdeep Singh, I get Arshdeep bowled the odd good over against West Indies. Arshdeep can blow hot and cold like nobody else. And this has not been a tournament in which he's producing that many wickets either.
yeah, yeah,
Especially up top. Bowled well in this game. I'm not
yeah.
disputing that. Bowled well in this game. But and the biggest story of this game is this is the
Varun.
start of the end of Varun Chakravarti. The way they played Varun, everybody has played him like that after that.
Yeah,
Everybody has hit him. Even Zimbabwe hit him.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean that's the thing, right? He gets anxiety. That's something that's visible
It's
as
on his
you
face. You
yourself
can
are
see
saying.
it. He's a very anxious guy. He's a very anxious guy. You can see it on his face.
And the poor guy,
There's
as soon
no
as he loses
running away from
confidence,
it.
yeah, that's the reality of the situation, unfortunately. I mean, I
Yeah,
cannot, I
it's
cannot,
unfortunate, but that is what it is. But so okay, so you stick with Varun going forward. This is after you've lost the first game, and brother, you didn't just lose this game. You
yeah,
lost this so badly that the whole thing could have been out of your hands.
yeah, 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 yeah. Actually, I was at the end, I was just saying, just reduce the margin to 30 runs. That would have essentially ensured that you're still
Yeah,
competitive. But
I think it was too far gone. There was no way you could have done that. I think there are days when you lose badly. The gap's there. You can't contest it. It's you've lost badly today. They were way
yeah,
too good for you. Way too good.
yeah. Then you had this game, which is
And
where
West Indies
essentially
came out in this match fully aware of the run rate implications of the last game, right?
absolutely, absolutely.
And that's why they come and just tear Zimbabwe apart. This was some hitting display from top to bottom.
Yeah,
Like the whole order went for
proper.
it.
Shimran had a tournament. It's just well, it's one of those tournaments where he was just on fire from start to end. I'll tell you what actually lost West Indies the tournament. It's a guy by the name of Hope who actually lost all hope, made all hope go away for the West Indies. That's a different matter.
Yeah,
But
we'll get to that.
yeah,
That's my criticism of them as well. They were ultra conservative in the first half of their innings yesterday.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was one. This was predictable. You are not going to chase down 255 almost ever, except in the IPL, where it's already been achieved, I think, twice now. I think it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
the
But anyway.
IPL, brother. I'll have to say nice things about it in a month or so, so I'll keep it for then. Really not my cup
uh,
of tea.
yeah, I agree. I agree. Then you have this game. This was probably the game of the Super 8s, probably the game and the innings of the World
Yes,
Cup.
the game of the Super 8s, and more importantly, I think the innings of the Super 8s, or perhaps the tournament.
Yeah,
Also, just tactically, again, very intriguing game. Very, very intriguing game.
yeah,
They weren't chasing a big total, okay, but this was a
yeah.
big
But
enough total. People keep saying 164 was too few. Okay, it may be too few in the context of the Pakistan innings, Pakistan were set up to score more, but they didn't score more. That's fine. I get that criticism. That is perfectly valid. But that doesn't mean 164 was easy to chase on this pitch. It was by any
No, it
means,
wasn't.
right? But England, I think, did something very smart, which is despite the fact that they lost wickets, they made sure they got to 53 at the end of six. So they kept the run
Yes,
rate out of the game at all times. Because once
exactly,
that run rate would
exactly.
have climbed, right, I think it would have been very hard for them to come back in.
Yeah,
Although they prove exactly that wrong in the next match that they play. Because they
yeah,
pummeled
yeah,
43 of 18 in the end to win,
yeah, 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 yeah,
right? But more often than not, you will lose games if you let the run rate get out of hand. And in
yeah,
the end,
yeah,
they threw away a flurry of wickets, so the gap in this game looks smaller than it is. But the
yeah.
gap was actually maybe an over and maybe 4 wickets, so 5 wickets here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
So
you
Sam
look at the
Curran
last
first
few
came in
wickets, right?
and played a
Jacks,
played a
Jacks
played
and
a
Overton are donated wickets. Jacks and Overton are
yeah.
just donated wickets.
So Jacks obviously plays a phenomenally important innings, along with obviously this is Harry Brooks' game, right? A few of
Yeah.
the shots he played in this innings, man. Oh my god. There's
But
He's so risky, right? He's
yeah,
so risky. There are at least 10 occasions in his innings when you think like a little bit of less luck for you, brother, and you're gone. Absolutely
yeah.
gone. Inside
He's a
edges,
gambler.
lobs that fall within between fielders,
Yeah, yeah,
catches that go inches away from a fielder, all kinds of stuff. The risk he takes with moving away from, man, he hit a cover drive for six. Okay.
yeah, yeah. I saw that.
Off a ball that was on middle and off,
Yeah, yeah,
foolish length.
yeah,
Because he's moved aside and he just slashed it over. What a shot! That's what you call the definition of lappa. Your in street cricket, that's just a blind hit. Like what a shot!
yeah,
Then there's the back foot six of I think it was Nawaz or Shadab, one of the two jokers. Oof!
yeah,
How do you like off a good length, off a spinner, back foot six over long on?
yeah, yeah,
Amazing shot.
yeah,
There's a couple of other absolutely mesmeric shots over cover in particular, and a couple over fine leg. I mean, that
yeah,
was
yeah,
some
yeah,
innings. You see it, like you see the levels of Harry Brook, right?
yeah.
In that innings. But mark one thing: it's 151 balls.
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
and this becomes a point that's important in the context of what our man Saibzada Farhan did against Sri Lanka.
Yeah, yeah. But it actually brings back few more things. Firstly, let me just say that Brook is an enigma beyond enigmas, and I'm telling you that right now. I'll tell you why. Because this is a guy who still hasn't figured out ODI cricket yet, which is honestly surprising if you really think about it. He has only two centuries right now. Yeah, he has 3 centuries. Yeah, 3 centuries by my last count in ODI cricket, and he has an average of 40. I think. Yeah, that's essentially his average. He hits outstanding innings like this, and yet he has the most brainless, brain dead moments of any batter in recent memory as well.
No, bro,
Who
it's
is a
it's
three
the risk
ball?
taking. He takes so many
Yeah,
risks. Like
yeah,
this innings could have ended 8, 9, 10 times. Man, I'm not even overstating that.
yeah.
Not saying that
Agreed.
there
I
were 10
agree.
clean chances that he gave, but the
Yeah,
kind of risk he takes in between 8 or 9 or 10 times, you could have gone. Yeah. Very easily, you could
yeah.
have gone.
Agreed. 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 It was a gambler's innings, as you said. He's a gambler. He gambles every time, and essentially, this was one of
He
those that
gambles with
paid off.
everything in there. He's constantly gambling with himself. And I enjoy it. Like that makes it very enjoyable. But I also don't look at him. See, these are my biases, and I raise my hand. These are entirely my biases. I prefer more classical looking batsmen because I see the percentages in them. So, Kohli is like a pure classical batsman. I see the
Yeah,
percentages
agreed.
despite his attacking instinct. Rohit Sharma, pure classical batsman with attacking instincts. Tendulkar the
Yeah,
same. Ponting was the
yeah,
same. You see
yeah.
it, with the good Aussie batsman that used to be visible.
There was another thing which was obvious. Like you could see the match losing innings right here, and that was this innings. Babar Azam's 25 of 24.
My God, yeah. This guy, it's just not getting better, is it?
He's done. He's so cooked. It's like you have a well cooked meal and it's only getting
No,
overcooked every day.
I think he's broken in the mind now. It's just become too much. It's a very brutal era to play in, right? Like the amount of social media that's out there. It's a brutal
Yeah,
era to
yeah,
play
yeah.
in.
That shows you the difference between Kohli's dip. I get that he never recovered in test matches, but still, Kohli had a way to find something at least in one or two formats and get back to some degree of success. This guy's had nothing. Last
You
three
can't
years have
compare
been.
the two. You can't compare the two. I
I'm
mean,
no, I'm
they've
just
been trying to
contrasting the.
compare him all the time. I used to always be like, where the hell do you get off? How can you
Yeah,
begin
but
to compare Kohli? Like Kohli is my, it's not even a question.
one more thing.
Not
Why
even a
were
question.
these? Yeah, why were these fools not playing Fakar Zaman? Why were these fools not playing Fakar Zaman?
Same
Like
problem.
seriously.
All these guys are highly inconsistent. Fakhar Zaman is a very deadly batsman. You're right, especially etched into Indian memory because of that Champions Trophy final.
Yeah, I get that.
But these are all super inconsistent players. Look, at some level, you have to simply sit down and accept you've got a problem in your cricket. You've
Sorry,
got a
he
problem
actually
in your cricket.
played this game. He actually played this game, but in the wrong position. Like Saim Ayub failed again. The opener who doesn't do anything opening, which we have also gotten a problem with.
By the
But
way,
Fakar
Saim
Zaman comes
Ayub is supposed to be their next great thing. That's the other one that they used to keep building up, saying this is the next great batsman.
in.
Because apparently he scored a century somewhere in Australia once.
Yeah, yeah. Not even in Australia, against Australia in Pakistan, I
No,
believe.
I
That's a
thought it was
century.
in Australia. Oh, he had a couple of good innings in Australia during that one test series that they played, right? Where they lost the test series 3-0, but it was a good test series. But I think in the
Yeah.
ODI series connected to that tour, I thought he did
He
yeah, he
might
scored a
have. He
few
might
runs.
have. Yeah.
They were up and chirping about him again. I mean, they this dude, yeah, like Kushal keeps saying, yeah, their situation is nanga nahayega kya nichodega kya, yeah. They have nothing. They have nothing in their cricket. I don't look at a single cricketer from the Pakistan team and think, oh my God, what if we had him? Not one. And that's been the case
Not
for
one.
years now.
Yeah. So we have Babar Azam doing this. By the way, there was a debate on whether to drop him or not after this innings. I kid you not. There was a debate. How is this even a debate? There was
Because
a
there's
debate.
nothing else there. You keep saying this about them, bro. Tell me, what do they do? Who do they bring in? What change do they make?
Rizwan. Bring in Rizwan again. Yes.
You should drop Rizwan only because when he's in the team, you become the most memeable team on the whole planet. That meme of these two jokers doing their stretches. Oh my God. Bro, how can you be international class anything, yeah? And okay, if it was a single stretch, okay, I can understand somebody caught you out of frame. That's a
Yeah.
fucking proper 10, 12 second. They're at it. They're at it. They believe in this fuckery. You look at the way they're bending, they can't bend. They're like uncles. They're not international athletes.
One more thing. By the way, these guys were the same guys who went to the army for training before the 23 World Cup and lifted stones on their heads and carried them on a mountain.
Yeah, same shit Buchanan had done with the Aussies at one time, and that's when Shane Warne turned on him. He's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, man?"
So that was this game, Gambler's innings. Even here, by the way, Sahibzada Farhan plays a reasonable innings on a pitch like this. 140 strike rate is not too bad. And he's saved primarily because you have a man like Babar Azam doing this 25 of 24. Criminal stuff, by
No,
the
this
way.
this is a very good innings by Saib Farhan. He's a decent batsman in this format, man. No doubt about it. He's a decent
Yeah, yeah,
batsman.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. He is. He is. No, I'm not complaining about this innings. This match, this was not the criminal innings. It's Babar Bhai
No,
who
this is a
played
very good
this.
innings. Yeah. It's a very good
Yeah.
innings here.
No, just to illustrate, check out Babar Azam's strike rate and Fakar Zaman's strike rate. Both hit 25. Just look at the difference between the two. That should tell you everything. Anyway, next one. This was this was a pathetic display by Sri Lanka. They had New Zealand 84 for 6. It was over. The game was essentially over. You could have finished them right there. They did not.
Yeah, but that guy Santner is some cricketer, man.
He is Santa Claus for them. I call him Santa Claus
Nick
because he keeps
Santner is,
bringing them presents.
bro. It's a 47 of 26, right? Okay, but I
Yeah.
promise you, about 15 of those deliveries, he was in slow rebuild mode.
Yep.
He
Yep.
rebuilt
You are.
this inning slowly, put it back on track, and then still ended with a strike rate of 180. What a guy, man! What a guy! And he'll be disappointed
Don't
at the
forget.
fact that he fucked up the England game because he
Yeah.
fucked it up. He fucked it up with his captaincy.
Yeah.
He fucked it up with his bowling.
Yeah. 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 Agreed. But Cole
New
McConkey's
Zealand,
innings.
New Zealand as a team. I'm telling you right now, New Zealand as a team to win two games. I wouldn't put it past them out of the blue. They have
Yeah.
enough to
It's a
win two
possibility.
games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just that they are going to come up against the absolute best version of South Africa.
Yeah.
But it's at Eden,
Yeah.
and Eden should be a reasonable scoring ground.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, Eden is a ground and Marco Janssen. I remember this. There's nothing but horrible
He, he
performances.
he got smashed around. Yeah. That was when he had a 1 year decline. Then he came back. Stuff like that started happening.
Right? So, yeah, they lost the 23 semi-final there.
No,
Tight game.
South Africa did. South Africa did. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, they
South
lost
Africa.
the 23 semi-final there.
From there. Yeah. Tell me what Rachin Ravindra is doing. No, this innings was okay, but still
No, but he's been poor. He's been poor.
very, very.
With the bat, very bad. With the ball, much more effective. But yeah, it's not happening with Ravindra. I think with Ravindra, the shot selection is really out the window. And I think that's the primary problem. He's going across on occasions when he shouldn't go across. He's not
Yeah,
playing above the offside as well as he used to. And they are cramping him, man. They're really
yeah,
cramping him whenever they need to.
yeah.
Yeah,
Very similar
it's a
to the
bad one for
Abhishek
him.
Sharma thing. Very similar to Abhishek Sharma actually in that sense. The same. They don't have the same technique, but they're getting cramped in a very similar manner. Yeah,
No, he's a
that's
better
essential.
batsman. He's a more complete batsman than Abhishek. We should be able to
Yeah,
find better answers than Abhishek. But
yeah,
it's not happening. At this moment, it's not happening.
yeah. I get that. I get that.
So it's
Then
essentially it is that problem, like getting cramped completely, not playing. Like there's a shot selection issue. There are deliveries to which he needn't be cramped. He can play through the offside, or he can play straight, play a lot straighter. He's not doing it.
yeah, 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 yeah. I get that.
Plus
But
they bowl the other one, the one that cuts across him,
yeah,
right? Like from the right hander with a slower
yeah,
delivery with a cutter.
yeah,
Or anyway on the angle and jumping away, and he's getting caught wide to the keeper, wide to first slip.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's just not
But
covering that ball enough.
but
That
what
is
a
perhaps the
bowler!
ball he shouldn't be playing with the vertical bat. He might want to play that with the horizontal bat.
Yeah. Then there is the bowling. His bowling has been a godsend for New Zealand. This was proper
I mean,
spin bowling on a spin.
this day was, but this day the fight in Lanka was over after that second half by England by New Zealand in their batting innings. After
And the
that,
first
the
ball.
fight in them was finished.
And the first ball. And that first
Yeah.
ball.
Plus this guy was definitely injured. Mendes was definitely injured.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the sad reality. And this was the loss that dumped Sri Lanka out of the tournament. And that's when we started to realize that, truly realize after the English game, you were right. We were a bit shocked, but the realization started setting in. This was the game that told us, yeah, Sri Lanka were
No. I mean,
an okay
by
team.
before the start of this game, I was looking at them and thinking, they either keep New Zealand down to a really low total or there's no chance. There's not enough batting there. Yeah, there's
They
one
would
chance
have,
if Nissanka goes mad. If Nissanka goes mad, then that's a bit of a lottery. But
yeah,
Nissanka is not good enough to go mad consistently against the big boys.
yes,
It
yes,
just
yes,
doesn't
yes.
happen for him.
So we can still thank him for the 100 against Australia, though. That was a soul stirring innings.
It was, but just look at the way he gets out, right? Like for example, the dismissal against Pakistan.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, he was just the rug was pulled from under his feet. Like it was the dismissal of a batsman who has a limited way of batting and a bowler who's figured it out and just nailed him on it.
yeah,
kind of goes to show how little Australia give a shit about any of this, man. They don't even like
No,
to
no,
have the plans.
no, but they have had the riot act read to them. It seems that a bunch of former Aussie cricketers have gone to town on them and said this cannot be the Aussie way at all. If it's cricket, we need to respect it. That's essentially Ponting was straight up going haywire on them. Like he was burning them. Bit rich coming from Ponting because he didn't give a damn about the format either. But he said, "This is the way of the world. It's going this way. You better pull up your breeches in this
But in
format."
Ponting's defense, when it was his turn at that time, you didn't know how the format is going to pan out,
Fair
right?
point,
Like,
but he is now saying
and
this is
while
going to
not
be the
giving a
future.
shit, while
Yeah,
not giving a shit, he made the 2007 semifinals, right?
yeah,
And
and the 2010
bro,
final.
that is still in that 2007 semi. That is still the best international T20 innings I have seen. That Yuvraj Singh innings in that match
Yeah,
is
yeah,
up there with anything you will ever watch. And short of that, they beat us. Short of that, they would have
yeah,
beaten us. Even with that,
yes,
they
yes,
were on track to beat us for a bit. Then
yeah,
we
yeah,
bowled really well to the back end of that innings and got through to the
yeah,
final. So
yeah,
he may not have given a shit, but his players knew how to turn up and at least be, have some pride in your own performance.
yeah,
Having, despite the fact that, yes, even in that tournament, they lost to Zimbabwe.
yeah. No, Zimbabwe won Australia and World T20s. I don't know
Bro,
how, but they do.
it's 2 wins, man. It's 2 wins in 2 World Cups. It's not like, what do you mean own? It's 2 wins.
Let's see what happens if they get grouped again with Zimbabwe. I have a feeling Jay Shah is going to do exactly that next time around as well. Now, this is the game which gave India hope again, essentially. Aiden Markram played the innings to get India back into the tournament, essentially. This is what happened. West
It's not
Indies,
the innings. It's not the innings. It's the bowling. The bowling killed West Indies early, right? The South African
yeah,
bowling was way too good.
yeah,
It's Angidi again, man. It's Angidi. Angidi at the top of the.
yeah.
You need to stop scrolling at some point. You need to
Sorry,
fix
sorry.
the
I
screen at some point.
stopped it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So Angidi does the job again,
Yeah.
along with this time Rabada got some
Rabada.
wickets, but they bowled really well at the start.
Yeah, 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 yeah. They did. But they also got a bit
All
lucky
all
with a
of
couple
these
of
all of
plans.
these ruined figures that you're looking at, that's all in the second half. In fact,
Yeah.
beyond even the second half of the West Indies innings, when that
No, but
last partnership went nuts for a while.
this was the one game where I realized that Jansen is still not complete as a bowler, which he obviously isn't. He's not there yet. But this was the innings where I realized that Jansen is not going to be an everyday guy. Like, yes, he'll give you great stuff every once in a while, maybe once every 3 games, 2 games, but he can be destroyed. This was a game where he was properly taken down.
No,
50 runs.
anybody can be destroyed. Bumrah can be destroyed from time to time in
Yeah,
this format. I mean, let's be
yeah,
clear. It's not, and Bumrah is the closest thing to complete as a
yeah,
fast bowler as you can even conjure up for this kind of format.
yeah, yeah. Agreed. And then Aiden Markram played one of the greatest patriotic innings for India ever seen.
Hardly that. It didn't have to even play all that. But I've been telling you from in every podcast, you've been running him down. Aiden
Yes.
Markram is a
Yeah.
big dog of a cricketer, and right now, maybe
Big
coming
match
late
player,
in his
yes, I
career,
get that. Yeah,
maybe coming late in his career, but he's starting to bite into pressure now. He's got 2 games to prove himself, and I'm
yeah.
telling you, between Markram, Stubbs, Brevis, and
Decock.
uh,
Decock is still
no,
around.
no, 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 no. Markram, Brevis,
Miller.
Miller. Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously Miller. These four, they
yeah,
always need two to go big, reasonably
yeah,
big. By reasonably big, I mean quick fire 40s at the very least.
yeah, yeah,
Right? 2 out of the 4, if they do it, no problem for South Africa from there.
yeah,
Because they've got
yeah,
enough. Yeah, because you will have the odd game in which, I mean, Quinton still has it, man. The day Quinton decides to kill you, he'll just kill you. Like,
yeah,
it'll start disappearing everywhere.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, this was a proper game, and this was where Ingidi curiously decided that slower balls were not how he was going to get West Indies out. All of the 3 wickets he got were on pace deliveries, and he didn't even bowl slower balls against the West Indies, probably because he was afraid that they would pick him. They did on a couple of occasions, so that was one interesting.
See, nobody else has their power.
Yeah,
Those
the
levers and that power, right? Like there is a fear of the slower ball. They are the kinds who can smash it, miss hits out of the park.
yeah, essentially, right? Yeah. Then India did the needful against Zimbabwe, and this was the game where, forget everything about the batting. This was the game where we realized that Shivam Dubey was not going to bowl a single over going forward in the tournament.
Yeah, but then you have a six bowler problem, and that six bowler might be necessary at some point.
Yeah, but considering the way he was demolished against Zimbabwe,
Yeah, but I still wouldn't say that he can't bowl at all. He may have to bowl. Listen, we've got a
yeah,
semi-final
agreed.
in at Wankhede. Wankhede should be ideal pitch for him. Only problem is that ground size. That ground size has me so worried. I can't even begin to
Yeah,
explain it to you.
yeah, agreed. Again,
That could
here's
just become
another.
a shootout, like a fucking, shooting fish in the barrel kind of shootout. Bowlers
Yeah,
just becoming cannon fodder, unless the pitch is. I'm hoping pitch will have the same qualities that it did in the USA game for us, right? So there's
it's
enough
not
bite there,
looking
enough
that
spin there.
it's not looking likely. It's not looking likely because the
Let's
pitch
see,
is
let's see,
flattening out.
let's see.
I mean, it could happen, but it's not looking likely. That's all I'll say. Brian Bennett. I'll give a word of appreciation for Brian Bennett, though. What a find. Zimbabwe needed a batter to blossom into something special. He certainly has. He most certainly has. What a player. He got out like once in the whole tournament or something, twice or something like that. Ridiculous. Ridiculous player.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, listen, Zimbabwe. Yeah, their skill level is lower than the best teams,
Yeah.
but they've been decent. They've been decent value for money.
Yeah.
Yeah, Super Six, Super Eights. They came into the Super Eights, and sorry, there's no messing around from the big boys in the Super Eights. You know, they're going to come at you
Yeah.
as hard as they possibly can, and
Yeah.
so that's why they have such a poor performance overall. It's like 2003 World Cup. Yeah, they'd the 99 World Cup. Sorry, they'd gone, and the
Yeah.
way the 99 World Cup was structured was you would
I know you
carry
carried
points
over
from the group
points. You
phase.
carried
So
over
they
points.
carried
Yeah.
4 points into the group phase, into the
Yes.
Super Six
Yes.
phase, right?
Yes.
But didn't win a single game and therefore didn't make the semi-final. So group
Had they
phase they did
won
all right.
one game, they would have been in the semi-final. One game was
Yes,
enough.
yes, yes. But they couldn't because they were just then the big boys when they arrive, the tournament's on, and everybody is, they hanker down and they play their best cricket.
So that was one. And
But our bowling at
thank
times in this game was a little worrisome. Yeah. Little bit
yeah, they were
worrisome.
very casual about this. And this was where, yeah, you saw Varun Chakravarti again being figured out.
But one other thing
35
in
runs.
this, it's very good that we very quickly corrected our tactical mistakes from the South Africa game. Bringing in
Precisely.
Samson, very, very smart idea. Bringing Aksar back,
Yes.
smart idea. Sorted all that
Yes.
out. Varun got hit in this game as well, I think.
Yes.
Uh,
35 runs. Not too bad, but
and
not great.
yeah, no, I mean he's going at the run rate of the Zimbabweans, yeah, at 9 point something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to look at him for the semi-final, small ground. If the English start reading him, mother of God, it could get ugly.
To be fair, Kuldeep is easier to read than Varun. Like Kuldeep,
Yeah,
like I was seeing his.
but Kuldeep has more turn to him. Kuldeep has more
Yeah. Agreed.
variety.
Agreed. 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 That I'll
Right.
give you.
But
That
I'm
I'll give
I'm
you.
with you on this. I'm not saying it's like to me it felt like Varun's you can't go 3 games getting killed, right? And then walk into a
Yeah.
semi-final with that level
Yeah.
of confidence. But then on the
Yeah.
flip side, you have a guy who's barely played a game. He's played 1 game through the tournament. It's a tough
Yeah.
call, this one. It's a tough
Yeah.
call.
Also, I was looking at Kuldeep's releases, right? Back in 2017, when he was bowling slower, his googly and leg spinner were not that easy to read. Like he had a side armor, slightly more sidearm googly. Now it's almost like exactly back of the hander, so you
Yeah,
can read him
all of that
straight
is
up.
fine, but let's take our most recent final type game that we played, which was the Asia Cup. Not the Asia Cup or the T20 one, but the Champions Trophy. In that
Champions
champ,
Trophy,
and that's a 10-over spell, but he bowled beautifully in that spell.
beautifully, yeah,
Absolutely beautifully.
beautiful, yeah,
Let's see how we go about this. I think it's a little tricky. This game sorted out the equation, made sure that West Indies and India became a knockout, made life a lot easier
yeah,
for us. We
yeah,
sorted out our tactical problems, became crystal clear again that what you're trying to do in the South Africa game is not what you're going to do
yeah,
going forward. It's a good
yeah,
thing. Sometimes you can dig in your heels, and then you get into trouble because you start making more and
yeah,
more
yeah,
mistakes. So at
yeah.
least we corrected ourselves, course corrected very quickly.
The most important thing from this game for me was Tilak Verma. This innings was desperately needed, absolutely needed, and he essentially replaced Rinku Singh as a finisher at the bottom of the order.
He's
What a
just such a diverse batsman, dude. What a cricketer this kid is, yeah. I look at that Abhishek
like,
innings and I don't really care. Okay,
yeah,
whatever Abhishek, he has two games. I understand that, and they're two important games, so maybe he could make a massive difference. But overall, big disappointment and been caught out. Like he's just been figured out.
yeah, 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 yeah. Kishan again. I cannot praise this guy enough. Yeah, he has a duck, and I get that, but man, such a difference maker. Like every time. Kishan, what a difference maker.
Absolutely,
And Surya has done,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Then
No,
the next game.
Surya had a good tournament. Surya's been a
Yeah,
very consistent
yeah.
performer
This
for
is
the
good enough for
tournament.
me. Yeah, this is good enough for me. 33 of 13 is fine. Yeah, you get that. That's fine.
Massive
Then you have
momentum
this
in the
game.
middle. Yeah, that's what caused the 250. That's a big total. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This game is stupid for New Zealand for so many reasons, but one of the main reasons is this is the only game at Premadasa which was won by the team chasing. Only game.
Yeah, their last 3 overs are just awful, absolutely awful. And even in their batting, they should have made a few more. They were in a much better position. They let a good position go. But England keep doing this. They have enough spinners, right? Enough. Like for this format, you don't need one. You need just a reasonable spinner, and they have enough of those. And they keep doing that
Rehan
job. And
Ahmed.
then in Karan, they have a
Rehan
guy
Ahmed in this game.
who can bowl the slower ball quite a lot, right? Rehan
Yeah,
Ahmed played a beautiful little innings. He chased a momentum changer in this chase. Huh? He comes out and
yeah.
he goes on the attack first, and then Will Jackson is able to follow, and Will Jackson just finishes the game off.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Outstanding, that 24-run over, outstanding. 22-run over.
I don't know what Salt and Butler are doing at the top of the order. This was another failure, third consecutive failure or something for them.
No, and
But
it's all happening the same way. Salt gets one that stays straight, comes onto his feet. He'll play that a bit, and then the one that goes
yeah,
away, he's immediately nicking it. It's the same cover drive every time. But these guys
every
are
time.
told to play like that because the next time the cover drive can connect, and once they connect a few, then you don't know with them. Butler is
Yeah.
on one of those where God help you, nothing's working. It's happened before. I mean, just look at what Mahela Jayawardene's record was in
Yeah.
2003,
Yeah.
or
Right.
Inzi's record in 2003, by the way, or even
Yeah.
Sanga's record in 2003. There's
Sangha.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes one of the big boys always has just a devastatingly bad tone.
Yeah. 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 It can happen. It can happen. Agreed. Yeah. Again, Ravindra plays a match losing effort. 11 of 13 balls. Like, please tell me, man, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Daryl Mitchell.
at 11 of 13 at one drop, you're trying to get into the game a little, and they get out, then all looks bad. But that 11 of 13 can also become 30 of 20, in which case you're all right,
Sure.
right? So
Sure. Sure.
but he is struggling. He's struggling against spin. He's struggling against having his hands getting locked up a lot.
Also, why is Daryl Mitchell at this position? Like, please tell me why. Like, he's being
So I'm
wasted in this position.
100% with you on this. They have literally played Daryl Mitchell out of form. This guy was on the hottest form streak in the sport at the time at which his tournament started. He was
Yeah. Yeah.
unfucking believable, and the whole tournament is about playing and hitting spin. He's a king at attacking spin. I
And
don't
he's
know
been
why they.
getting out to spin every time. every time.
Bro, in reality, he should be in Rachin Ravindra's position.
Yeah, they should be flipped.
But the damage is
I
done.
mean,
They played him out of form. His last few innings, he just looks so scratchy. His timing is gone. His timing is
yeah, yeah,
completely gone.
yeah, yeah. We can thank New Zealand for sabotaging themselves. It's not really much of a surprise here. I mean, the reason why they're still in the place they are is because Glenn Phillips, Finn Allen, and Tim Seifert, along with Santa Claus, have been giving them
Chapman
enough.
Chapman
Just
has had the odd innings as well. Mark Chapman is a
odd
good
innings.
batsman. And listen, they have enough firepower there. On a given day, you can't necessarily say they can't do it. Like they can.
Agreed, agreed,
But
agreed. But
that England loss was like this loss is a disappointing one. A, they were at least 10, 12 runs short of what they should have been the way they were going. They
yeah,
had a couple of
yeah,
bad overs right at the back end.
yeah.
And then the bowling, the choices were he had to bowl at least one over through his fast bowlers at the end, and he didn't go to him.
Why didn't you bowl Lockie? Lockie had quite a bit left. I mean, Glenn was the wrong choice throughout the day. Let's just be very clear. Phillips just wasn't the right choice throughout the day here. I don't know why they kept bowling him.
No,
And
not throughout the
Phillips,
day. He gets hit in his last 8 balls. Otherwise, he gave them overs. He got through the overs. He got hit over his last 8, 9 balls. That's what happened to him. And then the
yeah,
problem
agreed
was he went immediately back to himself, and Santana got hit in his last over badly too.
as well. Yeah, Santner's
That
got it
ended
as
it.
well. Yeah,
That ended it. And one of those overs should have been a fast bowler over. But with Glenn Phillips, last 9, 10 balls when he gets hit, after he gets hit in his third over, maybe the fourth over shouldn't have gone to him because he didn't need it.
Fourth over
He
shouldn't
covered
have
his
gone.
overs.
3 overs were fine. Fourth wasn't. Yeah, fourth
But
wasn't.
it's a 50-50 decision. You still bank on the pitch being sticky. But the problem with
Yeah,
it being sticky is all right, it's sticky. But if that guy is starting to connect,
yeah,
right, the spinner is the one that is going to keep coming into his range.
yeah, 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 yeah. Tell me why Ish Sodi is still bowling in this tournament. He's done nothing. He's done
He
absolutely nothing.
was absolutely terrible in this game. He was a game changer in this game. Until he came on to bowl, they were fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
They believe they will need Sodi at some point in time if they have to go all the way. They hadn't picked him till the last game, the game before this.
yeah, yeah.
Picked him
No, but
once
he's
in the
been
groups,
bad.
but otherwise not.
But they're picking him easily. Like the Indians were picking him in the T20I series
No,
with
no,
ease.
see, he's never been a bowler who's on deception, right? Like deception, not he will always you can pick him out of the hand. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
There's no problem with that.
agreed. But in T20, often if you pick them out of the hand, that's itself the battle is lost right there. That's the
Yeah, but
unfortunate
you could
reality.
still have proper variations of pace. You can have variations of
Yeah,
length. You
yeah,
can, a batsman, sometimes the most dangerous ball in T20 is when the batsman thinks he's not confused and he's got it and
yeah,
he's seen it out of the hand. And just a pace variation causes a catch in the deep where
yeah,
he
yeah,
connects
yeah.
reasonably well, but not perfectly.
Counterpoint, I still remember one of the most disappointing decisions ever by New Zealand. If you remember that Pakistan World Cup game in Bangalore in 2023, rain had stopped the game. And then they were behind the DLS rate because they were chasing 401. Then Ish Sodi comes on to bowl and he gets hit for like 30 runs in 1 over and 15 runs in the next over. He gets absolutely pulverized. And then Pakistan win the game on DRS, right? So that's the kind of memories that you get from Isodi in crucial games. Like once you pick him, his pace variations are minimal at best, unfortunately. Sad to say, but that's the reality. I don't know what else to do, but that's the reality. Now let's talk about the wide. This game. Oh my
So
god.
before the wide, that capitulation in the last five. By the way,
Yeah.
100 of 60 balls is too slow, bro. You got to
On
be
this pitch,
100
yes, it
can't
was.
slower than 50, 51 balls now.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Agreed.
In modern cricket,
Because
you can't be. This is a disadvantageous 100. If he had been say 70 of 35 instead, and then the
yeah,
next guy comes and takes that block of 25 deliveries and is able to score 45, 50 of that takes you
yeah.
further than this does.
Yes, absolutely. Fakar Zaman played the perfect innings for this pitch. Exact innings you wanted.
Absolutely did.
This is
Absolutely
this
did.
is the inning.
But that's
Yeah.
a hundred of uh between these two, that's 184 in 17 overs.
which is
Okay,
still
and
very
that's
good.
good,
Which is,
but it's not incredible for the
yeah,
situation
it's
you
not
were in,
incredible. Yeah, yeah,
right? And then
yeah,
the last 3 overs has become 28, and that can happen.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
fucking collapsed. Like they just, it was brain dead cricket.
Yep, yep, yep. And then you have this bowling performance. I don't even know what to call this, except, they just gave up after the runs were. They knew that they were out. After that, it was all about just giving up completely. And Usman Tariq finally got belted. He was belted to all parts, every part of the world. And Shaheen Shah Afridi was nearly, you know what? If Shaheen Shah Afridi had lost this match, which he should have, by the way, that was a wide. We'll come to that. If he had lost, I'm pretty sure he would not go back to Pakistan ever again. He would just stay back home in Sri Lanka and says, I'm going to become a Buddhist. I'm a Sri Lankan citizen now. Bye bye. I'm not coming back home.
It would have been the most delicious moment of this World Cup because Shanaka earned it. Shanaka earned it, man.
Yeah.
That is some assault on Afridi right in the last.
Yeah. And that
Oh,
was a
they
wide.
planned this assault very slowly. Like, man, let's be crystal clear. When this innings began, I had no faith they're even making the 147 that's necessary. Because
Yeah,
that's how
yeah, yeah.
bad Sri Lanka had been,
You told me. Yeah.
right? And if you move up and go to their batting lineup for a second, the
Yeah.
changes were good and they were good and they were very, very necessary. And
Yeah.
this kid was really good to watch. Where
Pavan
is he?
Ratnanaike. Yeah. Ratnanaike. Yeah.
No, Ratnanaike comes later. Ratnanaike comes later and he was really good. Where is that Mishira? Yaar? Ha,
Mishara. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kamil Mishira. Kamil Mishara.
Mm,
He was really good
yeah.
at the start. Played some
Yeah.
beautiful shots right at the start and got them that momentum that they needed. So they were about 50 and 6, which, in
Yeah.
terms of the match, winning the match seemed too far away, but that made the 147 very easy. But suddenly
Academic.
97 needed a 15, right?
Yeah.
So basically, don't get bowled out. If you don't get bowled out, you're definitely making the 147. That's definitely done,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And then everybody chips in, Pawan Ratnake at times played some absolutely blinding shots when it was necessary. He
Yep.
picked out a couple of sweeps over square leg off the
Yeah.
spinner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But Shanaka, man, Shanaka at the end, holy shit.
He
That's a wide.
marmorized
I'm
him.
not I'm not having anything else about. That's a definite wide. Should
Right.
be 5, needed a one ball with the bowler not having the gumption to go anywhere near the batsman. He didn't
Yeah.
have the guts
Yeah.
to go anywhere near his range. So maybe
Yeah.
another wide was coming up. It was just coming.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you why the umpire did not give that a wide. He had enough of the match also. I'm pretty sure that's essentially what
No,
happened.
no, 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 no. No, he's misread it. I'll tell you what. If you look at it, the ball before that also was similar.
But it
And he
wasn't a
couldn't
wide.
score.
Wasn't a
And he couldn't score of it. Dude, he
Yeah.
had 6 to win of 2 eventually. Wow. Like he had nailed the entire equation to that degree. And the umpires
Yeah.
got conned into seeing the same ball twice. Whereas the second
Yeah.
one was wider.
Yeah. 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 And you know what? Sanath has resigned, unfortunately, from coaching. I think it was not a great idea for him to resign. I think he was taking them in somewhat of a right direction. Again, this is a long project. It cannot happen in one tournament, but he resigned. There are changes. That's what is expected anyway. But that's the unfortunate reality. Malinga was looking distraught. He was asking everyone, how was that not a wide? Sanath looked ready to wrestle the umpire into the ground after the non-call of the wide. And this is why the IPL now has reviews for everything, including wides. You can review the wide if you want. This is essentially the
No,
state
I
of,
agree. I agree.
yeah.
Did they not have the
Yeah.
power to review the wide here?
No, you don't have power to review wides. You can, the umpires only review a no ball if the beamer is bowled. That's the only thing they do. Yeah. Unfortunate, but that's what it is. Anyway, Pakistan were out of the tournament, and then they had the wonderful hilariousness that was their financial mismanagement. Then you have a completely irrelevant game, but one where Zimbabwe actually produced a decent fight over South Africa, if I may say so myself. Their top order again
Where is
quit
the
on them.
fight here? Their total is subpar, and then South Africa come and make it with like
No,
13
no,
overs.
their top order collapsed. Their top order collapsed once again, and it was their middle order that essentially bailed them out yet again. That's essentially what happened. That's why I'm saying it's a fight. 3 for 40 is not exactly a great stat.
Bro,
Let's
it's
just be
it's
very
two failures, but it's a failure for both openers. But other than that, everybody made runs. That's too
yeah,
easy.
3 for
This game was
40 though.
never a
Yeah, 3
proper
for
game.
40. Yeah, yeah. Again, in this game, Ingidi, yeah, they actually picked him better in this game, but yeah, pretty much the same situation. Then let's come to the final game, which is the final relevant game from this phase. This game, Sanju Samson's magnum opus so far in his career, anyway.
Uh, this game is lost in the first 10 by the West Indies. They were too conservative.
Yep, yep, yep.
If you
Shy
scroll
Hope.
down and just go to the follow wickets, just go to the follow wickets.
Yep. 1 for 68, 8.5, essentially 9 overs.
That's
Not even 8
that's it.
runs per over.
That's it. That's where it's done. You can't make up from that. And yeah, you got a 24 run over of Arshdeep, and Arshdeep made up for it in all fairness by giving only 5 in his last.
Yeah,
But that's a pitch on which you needed way more than 195. At no point at 195 looked safe on this. I mean,
they didn't.
yeah, Sanju played a top innings, but others could have as well.
Yeah,
This was not a pitch on which 195 is not a ground or a pitch on which 195 is being defended.
yeah. Uh, Kudos to Shy Hope for being at least very open about this. He immediately took the blame for West Indies' exit for this unfortunately awful effort. Like, this is on par with the Babar Azam 25 of 24. Essentially the
No,
same innings.
this is the worst crunch time innings he could have come up with.
Yeah, 0 of 1 ball would have been better. 0 of 1 ball would have been better.
Absolutely better, much better. And I mean, people were looking at Chase being the sort of weakling. Chase was superb up at the top of the innings, man.
Yeah. Helped, of course,
Oh,
by
and
a
the
couple of.
Hetmeyer innings, the Hetmeyer wicket comes at the right time. Huh?
Yeah.
He was starting to get like into a zone from where a lot of damage could have
Yeah.
happened.
Bumrah took care of him as soon as possible, essentially, as soon as he could, anyway.
It's a
But
beautiful
what
over,
interest,
beautiful. Two
yeah,
wickets, beautiful over.
yeah, what interested me was Hetmeyer was looking at the screen as if he had not even touched the ball. Like like there was a clear spike, ball was on bat. There was no doubt at all
No,
from
no, 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 no,
anyone.
no. I listen. I understand what he's feeling because it definitely touches his pocket.
I agree, but
Okay,
then
so he,
why wouldn't he also feel a shaking of the bat as also?
because I think
I
it
don't
was
know.
too light. It was too light. He probably felt more. It was whatever noise there is comes from his pocket.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. But I have to give some props to Rahman Paul. This man has the power of an elephant. How, like, if he nails a ball, it's going into the mesosphere. Like, it's.
Yeah, he's powerful, man. He's really strong. He's really strong. They have the power. They had it all of that. They just in the bowling. I mean, if you look at it, eventually the equation at one point was we needed 60 of 36, which means the pressure never
10 runs.
came.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing. 60 of 36 is nothing to end the game with. And in fact, we did our best to make it a little bit tricky for ourselves. But
Yeah.
Sanju promptly, in that last over, when he gets the ball, just promptly puts it away.
Yeah. What is also interesting is, thank goodness, Tilak followed up one good innings with arguably this was probably an
This was
even
a
better effort.
really good innings. The really good
Yeah.
innings, and it's one of those catches where batsman can feel a little unlucky because if that's a couple of feet higher, the catch doesn't happen, and he gets a boundary off it.
Yeah.
He's played a
Yeah.
very good innings there. And listen, the pressure situation that comes around, that innings completes the match. Literally puts you in a situation from where Hardik plays 17 or 14 and you still don't have pressure.
Yeah. Essentially.
Right. So if Tilak sort of took the pressure out of the game along with Sanju at that time.
You know what? Sanju, congrats for one simple reason. You now have the most you now have the most runs in a successful chase in a T20 World Cup match for India, beating Kohli's immortal twin 82s. The first 82 is the Mohali 82, the other 82 is the MCG 82. He beats them. Not in quality,
No,
don't
but the
get me
but
wrong.
the
Those two
MCG 82
82s
is
are
not a knockout game. The MCG 82 is not a knockout game.
yeah, I agree, but it felt like one. It honestly felt like one.
Dude. I know the name Kohli makes you reach for your pants, but please, it's
Yeah,
either a
I agree.
knockout game or it's not a knockout game. All right,
No,
that's
no.
a statistical.
The other one definitely was. The other one definitely was. You
Yeah,
lose
it
to
was.
Australia,
It
you're out.
definitely was. It was a heck of an innings. I remember that innings vividly. Uh,
Yeah,
Samson again, 97 of 50. That 50 is the key. So your 100 would have been around that number, around 50, 51.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
That's what you got to do. And in the IPL, that number probably has to be lower because the bowlers are even worse.
yeah. No, we
In
know from
IPL,
a fact that
IPL, you have to definitely be a sub 50 century. Otherwise, the century is actually counterproductive.
counterproductive. Yes, I agree. Uh, but this was such a beautiful innings. Like everything was
So
back. Every shot
listen,
was
listen.
back.
When Sanju bats well, there's just nothing. Like I mean, come on, man. This is like he's almost the inheritor of Rohit when he bats well, right?
Yeah,
The touch is
yeah.
there, the power is immaculate. Some of the shots, like that back foot slap down the ground past mid off. Come on, man. Holders getting it to jump on you and you just go straight down the ground past mid. Beautiful shot, beautiful cricket shot. Even the last shot that he hit, I
Yeah,
listen, Sanju Samson, you can never question this bit about him, right? Abhishek, I know
yeah,
it's a lot of sixes and he amazes you with the power to keep attacking. But
yeah,
there is no single shot of Abhishek that I look at and I think, wow, that's an incredible shot that he played. Sanju is immaculate. Like this is a proper batsman. Hey,
yeah,
he will blame himself at the end of his career. His mind played games with him and he messed up at times when he
yeah,
shouldn't have messed up. And yes, the selectors messed around with him at times when they shouldn't have messed around with him.
yeah.
Especially in the
Agreed.
ODI game when he was averaging well, he was going pretty well in game after game, and just didn't give him the opportunities he deserved. It's a
Yeah,
really good sort of proper batsman. And
yeah.
it's something very amusing about this, right? Uh, you can dig these tweets up, by the way. Obviously, Shashi Tharoor has always backed Sanju and backed him very publicly in his tweets.
Except on a couple of occasions. I'll tell you
No,
what
not
were
except
those.
on a couple of occasions. Very tellingly, when Sanju had a very bad run just before this World Cup, he gave up on.
Yeah,
So
essentially it did.
here
Yeah,
you
that
go.
was the one.
You just
That was the
you
one.
never give up. You never give up on sportsmen, man. You never give up on them because they will keep getting new chances, new opportunities, right? And the
Yeah.
talent is always there.
The two semifinals are set now. South Africa are playing New Zealand at Eden Gardens. India playing England at Wankhede. Now, if the Eden Gardens pitch is the same kind of pitch that was against the West Indies, what do you expect?
South Africa, all the way.
South Africa.
Team of the tournament, indisputably. Uh,
Yeah.
presenting multiple skills.
Yes.
Okay, tactically flexible as well. Who they use, how they
Yes.
use them. They're very good right now. They're very good right now. But it's a T20 game. It's a T20 game, so
Yeah.
and New Zealand has enough power there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just hark back to the South Africa New Zealand game in this tournament and how easily South Africa had turned around a decent New Zealand start and then just choked them completely.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
They're
Agreed.
a good team on that score. And Seifert and
Allen.
Finn Allen on the top, they're very good. I get it. They get a lot of runs away, but they're high risk options, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Compare that to Markram and Quinny, more
Quinny is
reliable.
a high risk. Quinny is a high risk in this
The way
stage.
he's going right now, he is. But then if he gets out, you get Rickleton.
Yeah.
Rickleton's a
Yeah.
solid batter.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. I get that.
And if
So
you still play Ravindra at 3,
Ravindra at 3 is just look, play anybody else at 3. Play Santa Claus at 3. Actually,
no,
it'll
play
work.
Mitchell, man. Play Daryl Mitchell. You ruined Daryl Mitchell doing this shit. But then you ruined him. So now maybe you don't have the faith that he will be timing the ball at 3.
I would argue that
I
you
don't know. I
play
think New Zealand have
Glenn
created a
Phillips
lot
at
of their
3.
own problems in this tournament.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is very unusual for them to do. Usually they get these things right. Anyway, that's point number 1. So, do you see a way in which New Zealand can win this? I know South
No,
Africa are
of course you
favorites.
see a way. Of course you see a way. There's no doubt about it. But New Zealand, I'm crystal clear on this. I don't think they can win chasing.
They have to win batting first
They have to win batting first,
on a due
right?
ground. On a due ground in Kolkata, where it's getting easier to bat second, actually. Far
I
easier.
know what you're saying, but I think the pressure of the chase will kill them.
Maybe. That's a possibility. Yes.
I don't see enough depth there for them to be able to pull it off right at the end in a chase of that sort. I know it's counterintuitive to Calcutta,
Yeah.
but you're playing an evening game. I don't think due is much worse for you later than it is for the team batting, the team bowling first. I mean, they also have a reasonable amount of due to deal with. The only
Yeah.
key part is the lesson to be learned from the West Indies game, India West Indies game, is this is a ground at which you just have to keep going. You have to keep going. You cannot
Going.
have that 8-9 over
Slow down.
first spell at the
Slow
start.
down. Slow down. Slow down.
Just have to keep going throughout, right? And if you do that, and then you go get your 220,
Or even 230. Something like
yeah,
that.
right. Then you're in the game. I don't care about due. I don't care about the rest of it, man.
Yeah. Scoreboard pressure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So but conversely,
Yeah.
let me go to this way to you. I think South Africa can defend 195 against New Zealand in Calcutta.
195. Okay.
The
Okay.
total that West Indies made against us.
Can they defend 180 though? Suppose they have a really bad day with the bat.
I see 180, 160. Then that's a freakish situation. Then you are right. Then someone has had a profound effect on the game in an
Yeah.
unexpected way, and there's been a subpar performance, like a core
Yeah.
subpar performance. That's
Which can
not within
happen.
the variances of the victory margins that you look at, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But
if
which
that
can happen.
happens, that happens. I mean, Lockie goes mad. Lockie knocks over 2 or 3. Satna has a
Yeah.
phenomenal spell. He knocks over 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then South Africans get bogged down for a bit and only get to 180, 160, 170, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Obviously, from there, but then you'd also be looking at the pitch, because as good as the Calcutta pitch has always been, if you remember the pitch in the 2023 semi-final, that was a tough
Yeah.
little
It was
pitch.
a water. It was a bit of a waterlogged pitch, which essentially was
Yeah,
used.
it was. So I wouldn't expect that to happen now. And it's
Yeah.
a difficult ground to defend on. I mean, it just flies. The ball flies, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
despite that, I would say that New Zealand batting has been brittle enough for scoreboard pressure to be a really telling problem for them.
Yeah.
So they must bat first and they must bat well.
I mean, if South Africans win the toss, they might as well just say we want to chase because of the due factor. So you might get your wish anyway.
100%. South Africa wins the toss, they will be chasing. No doubt about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is set up in that sense for,
Yeah.
your best case scenario versus their best case scenario.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. The only question is if New Zealand wins the toss, and perhaps their temptation is also to chase.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I get
I
that,
get
but I think they'll be making a mistake if they do that. In my opinion.
Maybe. Possible. Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. Let's talk about the other semi-final now. India versus
Bro,
England.
take a coin, toss it. Your chances of predicting that one are about as good. This pitch will matter. Okay,
Yeah,
this pitch will
matter.
really matter.
Yeah, I
If it's
agree
got
with
a
you.
little bit in it, and I'm not saying even if it does have something in it, doesn't mean that we are necessarily the ones up on top. Because they have enough spin in
agree with
there.
Yeah, they do.
Their hitting power is nuts. You have to bowl Bumrah to Brook.
Yes.
Bumrah, Varun, if you're playing Varun or whoever your preferred spinner is, those guys have to be bowling to Brook. If there's spin in the wicket, then your left arm spinner has to be bowling to Brook.
Yes.
But you have to get Brook, you have to get Banton, you have to get Jacks.
Yes.
And hope and pray that Butler and Salt continue their lean patch.
They're truly awful tournament. Yeah, that's there. Yeah, that is.
I was very critical of the fact that we didn't open the bowling with Bumrah against the West Indies. So I thought against the West Indies we should have. Really should have. Put them under pressure from the beginning. But against England, I'll accept that. I'll accept that we don't open the bowling with Bumrah. We go with Arshdeep and Hardik. and
Yeah.
try and get Salt and Butler that way.
Yeah.
Because, but anyway, Arman is coming in at number 3. So we've perhaps only an overs delay at most. And then you get Bumrah must bowl at Brook.
Yeah. So now, suppose the pitch is the traditional IPL style wicket, which we are seeing in the last match against Zimbabwe. Essentially, it was a flat deck. Everyone said it was a flat deck. Zimbabwe lost wickets because they were getting out thanks to
Bro,
poor
then
shots.
it's just a toss up, yeah, because then it's just a hitting power exchange. I mean,
Fest.
what do you do then?
Yeah. 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 I get that, but yeah, I was just thinking.
Yeah,
No,
again,
actually,
maybe having those Bumrah overs
yeah, is the
where the
difference.
run rate will be low might just be enough, right? Or Arshdeep has a good game. And another problem, right? That this new 1K day, that the swing is gone because that stand has also been
No
closed
swing.
off.
No swing.
Uh, Watch for this bastard Sam Curran.
Yeah, yeah, he is
Sam
there.
Curran in India. Sam Curran in India is a story written in hell.
Yeah. No, but since 2018, he's only turned up in one game where essentially we were well under par as a total anyway. That was the 2022 semi-final. But otherwise, he's been pretty, yeah, well, here and there. So I don't, no, I mean, the kind of slower balls he was bowling to Nepal weren't picking them up. Pretty sure that our guys can pick him up easier than that, but he'll probably bowl differently. Uh, in their
I mean,
bowling,
I'll still
Rashid,
say man to man. My fear with India is while we made the semi-finals, we had Super 8 wins, two good
yeah,
Super 8 wins, and three across those 3 matches, right?
yeah,
The sort of elevated strength that the bowling used to show has not been seen.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
But again,
bowling was so much better than every other team, right? That's not visible anymore.
no, there's a reason for that. I'm starting to realize that they take a lot more
Right. The
risks
big the
against
big the
India.
big variance on that is Varun. That's the big
Yeah,
variance.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So what do you do? Like, if you were like, I don't know if I'll even play. I'm not sure if I'll play Varun, but I have to lean towards him because he's played every game in the tournament and
I know
he's
what you
in.
mean. In fact, my first emotional reaction was I've had enough of him. 3 games in a row. The mystery
Yeah,
is gone. He's getting hit.
yeah,
Everybody knows the technique to go hit him. And the problem is
yeah.
the guy doesn't turn the ball much. So
Yes,
once you
yes.
start
It's
lining him
both.
up, you can just keep lining him up.
Yeah,
Right? But I think, when I said that, people came back with very logical reply that Kuldeep's also not reliable on this.
yeah.
Right? And
Especially
Kuldeep's
not on
had,
a flatty.
yeah. And by the way, he's also an anxious cricketer.
Yes, he is. Not as much as Varun, but he is. Yeah, he is.
And it's his history that is odd to me. And yeah, sometimes just looking at selectorial history tells you a lot about how the inside core group perceives a player. Every
Yes.
time he's been under pressure, Kuldeep, he's been
Yeah.
dropped
Yeah.
immediately.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Because
Yes.
perhaps the core group from all the way from Kohli and Shastri downwards used to look at him
Yes.
as psychologically incapable of responding to that situation.
Yes. 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 Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
carrying a bit of a grudge for his bowling against South Africa in the Test series.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
Really disappointed me in that. Really, really disappointed. And bro, some of those spells were crunch spells. It didn't produce not one good memorable spell.
Yeah.
Right? Uh, White ball cricket, all right. Maybe your percentages are better because you're being attacked all the time, but you're being attacked on a tiny ground.
Yeah.
So okay, maybe let's just call it then, right? Because you're right. I want Varun under the scanner big time. But perhaps you're right that the option doesn't exist. And this team has now won 2 games on the trot. Just don't change a winning formula.
Exactly. Exactly. And it'll cause even worse worries for a team if Varun is dropped now. What message does that send? They have to be careful about that.
I'll tell you one good reason in favor of Kuldeep.
I
which
get
is
that.
unlike almost every other team in this tournament. All of England's main attacking batsmen are right-handed, and
Yes,
Kuldeep as a
yes,
left-arm spinner can be much more useful against them. And if
yeah,
you look at Varun getting beaten up, thrashed in this particular last three games, it's the right-handers who are hitting him.
yeah. Not the left. No, Miller is an exception, but all right. Yeah, I get it. I get that. Yeah, yeah,
Right-handers are killing him. And
yeah.
moving aside, and he's bowling either too full or too short. And then from there, he's got nothing to
No,
go
no,
with.
he's not bowling too full or too short. I was going back and I was looking at those deliveries. Batters are now essentially doing something to him that they weren't taking the risk on earlier. Essentially, they're step hitting him from the crease, even if the length is not there to hit, and getting
Yeah,
away with
yeah.
it
In
on a
other
couple
words,
of
they're not
occasions.
charging him anymore. They're in the
Yeah,
crease,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
he now wants to get closer and closer to them. So a few of
yeah,
the sixes I've seen him get hit down the ground are very full deliveries, getting attacked in an
yeah,
over one very full deliveries. They're not
yeah.
playing the sweep to him. They're not playing the cross batted shot to him. His percentages are
No,
dipping away,
yeah,
right? And if
yeah,
he compels them to play the cross batted ball, then he'll have to pitch shorter. At which point the cross batted shot is properly in play. You can hit it. So
okay, you can hit it.
you
Yeah,
know he's got a we're in a conundrum on this one, bro.
yeah,
I can make an argument for either one of them.
yeah,
Uh, but I will stick with what you're saying, which is just because he's had enough games, the momentum's with him. Stick with him. Don't change a winning team. But
yeah,
if they pick Kuldeep instead of him, I get it. I perfectly get it.
yeah.
Just don't fuck
I get
around and
it.
end up picking Washi instead of someone or the other or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
Washi will be the worst decision on humankind. That kind of position.
Especially in a team full of right-handers.
So I don't see an unchanged. I see an unchanged team. Rather, I should say I see an unchanged team. The thing is, though, if that pitch is rather flat, I see Rashid and Jax also suffering plenty. Unfortunate or fortunate, you can call it, but that's essentially the name of the game. If it's a flat
No,
deck,
if it's dead flat like Mumbai can be at times, everybody suffers. Yeah, then the margins become unpredictable. Like I said, in that circumstance, perhaps Bumrah becomes the margin. Just not even by necessarily taking too many wickets, but by just say conceding it's a 3.5 and over, five and a half and over, or 6 and over instead of
seven,
say
even
8 or 9
seven
or
and
10
over
and
will be
over.
gold. Seven and over
Yeah,
will be
so
gold.
maybe that's what the margin becomes. Who knows? Yeah, who knows? That's
Yeah, yeah,
those are the T20 games where it's all batsmen, right?
yeah,
And it's batsmen in a moment. It just that's what changes a game. Then it's not tactics
yeah,
anymore.
yeah, yeah. Primarily because I remember a Wankhede game where Abhishek got 135 and India got 250 in a T20 game, and that essentially ended in a 150-run Indian victory. England collapsed. They were essentially mentally done after that. The pitch was still fine. So I'm wondering if India will just say, put out the flattest pitch possible to the pitch curator and say, let's just have a go of it. I think we can out
No,
bat
they
them,
can't.
which
The
is
pitch is not in our control. The pitch is not in our control. It's an
it
ICC
was in
curator.
the no, no, it was in our control in the 2023 World Cup final. Some stuff came out later on, you know.
No, no, it's certainly
But
not
it,
in our control on this one. ICC curator for sure, for sure. Uh,
okay,
but I'll tell you this: England bowling to Abhishek,
yeah,
they will have to make sure they follow what the format has been through this tournament in shutting him down, right?
yeah, yeah,
Basically,
yeah,
don't give him his offside.
yeah. Don't give him his offside.
They make that mistake, you know, who knows?
Yeah, agreed, agreed. And Abhishek has this bad habit of trying to hit the ball over a fielder in the power play who is the only man out there. Go somewhere else. It'll go for a four. That's a problem. That's an unfortunate problem I've seen with him. Like he keeps on trying to go over the guy who's there. Rather than that, just target anywhere else. Even a miss hit will give you
Yeah,
four
but
there.
then
That's
you're actually saying have more variety to your strengths than you do. See, he doesn't have it.
yeah,
You
well,
know,
he doesn't.
Ishan is probably a better bet right now.
Yeah, yeah, I get that.
But it's okay.
Ishan
I
is
mean,
a
at
better
least look outside of Varun, and that too, I think is a bit of a contrived controversy that fans like myself are creating. Uh, there's no doubt as to team selection.
yeah, Yeah.
And it just comes down to how you handle on that given day. There will be
Yeah.
plans for each batsman. There will be plans for each bowler. But
Yeah.
if the pitch is very flat, God help you with these plans. I mean, Wankhede can be Wankhede and Chinnaswamy, right? They
Yeah.
can be disgraceful grounds to play on, like disgraceful Indian grounds. Tiny, flat wickets.
How about Arun Jaitley? How about Arun Jaitley?
Arun Jaitley, though, I think is like, I don't even consider it a ground, like because to me that's not even like half the time that pitch is, it bounces to like barely knee level, right? And then they try to lade it with grass,
Yeah.
and all it does is creates two paces.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Ridiculous. Like these are, this is why my criticism was so strident about Indian grounds in general.
Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
like the Ahmedabad ground, and I like the character of that pitch as well. You have to have some tactics to be able to play on that ground and play well on that ground.
Yes.
Right? It's
It's
a
a
good
big
size
ground
as
also.
well. Yeah,
Yeah. Big
big ground.
ground also.
I think Calcutta can do better with its pitch, but lovely ground is always a lovely ground.
But
Chennai
very
is
small.
always the best
No,
ground,
Kolkata is
always the
still a very
best
small
stadium
ground.
in India.
Yeah.
It
But
is still relatively small. It can expand, but Chennai is always the pitch with the most character, the most intelligent pitch is always Chennai,
yeah. Not in this
right?
tournament.
So
Not in this tournament.
yeah,
Not in
yeah,
this
for some
tournament.
reason,
Yeah.
but otherwise, always Chennai is a great game, always a great game.
Yeah.
But the rest of it is just fucking crap. What happened? Why aren't we playing as much at DY Patil? DY Patil is a decent sized ground and used to play, like, used to have decent pace on that pitch.
It's become a women's stadium now. It's become a women's stadium.
No, come on. I mean, you could play, both can play. Yeah.
No, they've essentially made it into the center for women's cricket now. They literally said, like, this is your ground. We are going to give you a ground for you itself, essentially. That's
Well,
the
they
idea.
won a World Cup on it, so congratulations to that.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can't
Anyway,
dispute that.
should we?
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
The final predictions. I'm not going to go too fancy. I'll go with an India South Africa final.
Yeah, I'll say, yeah, I would say the same. But just to differ, I'll say India and New Zealand. I mean, why not? Let's take a wild card. Why not? I know it's India, South Africa, but
To me, the likelier upset is England beating India.
I know that. And I don't think England beating India is even an upset. I think it's as you
Upset per
said,
se,
kind
right?
of,
It's not.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's not that much of
It's
an upset in
entirely it's
that sense.
entirely within the realm of possibility. It's entirely
Yeah,
within the
yeah,
realm
yeah.
of possibility.
So I'm just putting a punt on New Zealand doing something crazy because let's see what they can do. Maybe the unfamiliarity of the Eden Garden surface gets to South Africa. Who knows? That can happen. So that could happen. But let's see. But I think it will be an India South Africa rematch, which is the first time that will happen, by the way. Final being rematched again, if that happens. Same two teams, consecutive World Cups. So that will be a first. So let's see if that happens.
But goddamn Ahmedabad again, man.
No, if they go to the final, I'm telling you there will be pitch cooking, and I'm telling you they will make sure that Lungi Ingidi's slower balls will not stick in the pitch. They will ask the curator to do something to make it as flat a deck as possible to make sure that their bowlers are essentially put out of the
It's
game
not
at the
about
very start.
flat. They have to make it as fast as possible.
They will probably do that too because essentially the faster it is, the better it is for Abhishek. Abhishek likes space on the ball. These new guys
Bro,
don't.
we go and lose two finals in that stadium, na?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
They'll
I
be,
mean,
they'll be,
look,
they'll be.
no, no, but look,
I'll be signing
look,
a petition for renaming.
yeah, possibly. But let me actually make another point. The loss to Australia hurt all of us badly. It really did. South Africa winning a tournament for the first time, but I don't feel that sad about it in that
You may
sense.
not, but in the larger context of big games,
I
this
agree.
stadium we keep losing. Not on, man.
Yeah, I agree. Then they'll start thinking of not playing the final in that stadium, which is probably a good thing if you really think about it.
No, no.
But
Now, I mean, as long as there's a BJP government, that stadium is the one where they're playing finals. You take
to
that
be
from me.
fair, I'm not too sure. Even if the government changes, they're not going to play on any other stadium because that stadium is just too big to ignore. How are you going to
And it's a
ignore
fantastic stadium. Otherwise, a fantastic stadium. It's the only one which is a
130,000?
decent. a decent experience for the Indian fans. Everything else is a shit stadium in this country.
Yeah. They're building a new
Except
Wankhede.
DY Patil. This is why I said DY Patil is also good stadium, right? Only thing is,
Yeah.
how do you? It's a bit far away from the city, but otherwise, good stadium.
No, there are reports that the Ekana Stadium in Lucknow is an okay experience. It's not too bad, they were saying.
Yeah, and a pitch with some character as well.
Used to be. They flattened that out as well. Used to be.
Anyway,
Anyway. Thank you so much for listening to us. We will be back very soon. We will be doing a live stream of the India versus England semi-final on wait
Thursday.
Thursday. Yes, on Thursday. Yes, 5th of March. At least one innings. If not both innings, one innings. We'll be joining Kushal Mehra for it and maybe even Adit Kapadia. So catch us there. Catch us live. So if you want to send comments to us, you are free to do so. And we'll give our live analysis and commentary there. And from Nikhil, any last comments?
This is just keep your fingers crossed, man. This is gonna get tight. It's gonna get difficult. There'll be this is razor's edge cricket. Overall, the four best teams have got through, with New Zealand being a reflection of how poor the fourth team anyway in the tournament has been. Right, but the other three are there, right? You have to accept that the other three have been good. Our bowling strength is fading a little. It's not looking as good as it was for a long time over the last 2 years and in the first half of the tournament. English bowling looks better than ever, but England have played on nothing but sticky wickets, getting low totals, not getting jammed into these games where you need big scores. So maybe how do they react to a Bombay semi-final where you might need big runs? Like they're not maybe. Let's see. I think India versus South Africa final is what I'm expecting, what I'm sure everybody is expecting. But if the variance will come, it'll probably come in our semi-final.
Of course, you could also have a shock in the other semi-final. That will be a true shock. By the way.
It's a 20-over game. I mean, in a 50-over game, I would not say so, because in a 50-over game, I think you need enough skills over a period of time.
Yeah.
The best team will win. But a 20-over game, come on, man. I mean, anything, absolutely anything. Look, even in India, West Indies, if you have 2 or 3 more brain dead moments towards the end, despite being in the box seat throughout, you suddenly lose that game.
That's where we have to thank
Shivam England nearly did against Pakistan.
Yeah, that's where Shivam Dube, thank you for being the clutchest man alive right now. Like,
dude, just that one shot.
He guides it so perfectly. Surgical precision in between 3 fielders, essentially. That's just like, where does this guy get his cool head from? Like, he knows exactly what to do every time.
Yeah,
every
time. Absolutely.
If anyone is going to win the tournament on clutchness, it's that guy. Mark my words.
Tilak is the other one.
Tilak also, but I don't count out Shivam Dube for being the man of the tournament if he manages to produce something out of something utterly special. So it's a possibility. So thank you so much for watching this episode with us. We'll be back very soon. As I said, we'll be streaming live with Kushal, and we'll see you very soon. Thank you so much.